Everyone, I have a really exciting announcement today. As of today, Synapse Software is a partner with GLPI and Teclib. GLPI is an open source ITSM and asset management platform built by the company Teclib over in France. It's really exciting for us. This opens up a new chapter in our life. As I mentioned in a previous video, we're getting into the services um, realm, and this is a big part of what we're able to offer now. So in addition to our own software that we've created, Cortex and some of the other things, we're now partnered with, again, GLPI, and that bridges the gap between the past and some automation stuff and all of ITSM and asset management. And I think this really fills in a huge gap that we had in our offering. So I'm really excited about this. And I want to talk a little bit about why we chose GLPI specifically. There are a lot of great ITSM tools out there. If you were at Service Management World or any of the conferences in the service management space, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of them. But we chose GLPI for a very specific reason. And I think it really, well, many reasons that I think really opens up the possibilities for where we want to go, our vision for ITSM for ourselves, for you. It really fits in with how we want the industry to go and how we want the community to go. Now, GLPI is an open source tool, which is fantastic, not just because it's open source, but because it opens up opportunities and flexibility for us, for you, for them. Obviously, that this is a strategy that TechLib chose. They chose to make GLPI open source from the very beginning. And as far as I know, it's always been open source. It's a PHP app, so that kind of lends itself to open source. But for many, many years, it has been open source, and at this point, it's the most widely deployed open source uh, service management and asset management platform. Now, that might not mean anything on the surface to you all. There are definitely some advantages to open source. You can inspect the code. There are some avenues available to you as far as security screening and analysis and that sort of thing that you can't do with a closed source product. But I think it really makes it far more flexible and opens the door to, I keep saying the same thing, opens the door to opportunities. That's really what this is all about. This is all about keeping the door open, not painting yourself into a corner. And it allows us to offer kind of the full spectrum from you can run out of the box GLPI. It is not designed the same way that a tool like Cherwell or ServiceNow was built, where everything is customizable. There is no innate structure to it, and there is configuration to be had. Of course, with ServiceNow and with Cherwell, you got a significant amount of customization or configuration right out of the box. With GLPI, the way it is built, it is uh, at its core an ITSM and asset management product. You can look at the database and see service management tables, asset management tables. If you dive into the code, again, because it's open source, you can see specific code implementing all of those concepts. So out of the box, it is coded specifically to do ITSM and asset management and some other features that go along with that. All the way on the other end of the spectrum, it is totally customizable. It is fully open source. It has a thriving plugin marketplace and community, and it has a very open plugin architecture. So you, anyone else can build any plugin that we want for GLPI. We can even make it as customizable as you might want to see from something like a ServiceNow or a Cherwell or another platform. Basically, the sky's the limit. If you see something in another platform that you really like, it is probably possible to do. Well, it is absolutely possible to do in GLPI. Maybe not out of the box, maybe with a plugin, maybe with some custom plugin development, but we can certainly make it happen. And that's again why I'm really excited about it. Being an engineer, having been a software engineer for a long time, uh, it's really exciting that I get to uh, play with. I really do feel like it's playing with the tool, but work with the tool all along that spectrum. I can install it and have it run out of the box. I can do some configuration, just install some plugins. If you're familiar with WordPress, it has that kind of vibe to it. You can feel it. It kind of feels like installing plugins the way you would in WordPress. Um, Obviously, I feel like it's a much more serious product. It's certainly more secure than WordPress is. And then on the other end, all the way on the other end of the spectrum, there's custom development. And whether that's a part of the platform, part of, via plugins or that sort of thing, or, add-ons and additional platforms, the integration uh, capabilities are really strong. Again, because it is an open platform, because it has open plugin architecture and that sort of thing. Um, but I'm really excited about it because I can basically do whatever I need to with the platform. And that enables me to do that. It enables you to do that. Um, and even though it's not necessarily no code like Cheryl was, it's not as uh, pro code as you might think of from ServiceNow. ServiceNow has its own dialect of JavaScript, and you have to know a lot of ServiceNow specific things. And if you know that, that's great. But if you're just entering the platform, it's kind of confusing. GLPI is PHP. It is stock PHP. Yes, there are certain names for certain things for some of the plugins, but it is still just PHP and PHP knowledge transfers. That was one of the things that excited me when I first looked at it. I saw that it was PHP and I could immediately read the code and understand what was going on because I've worked with PHP extensively in my career. So that's kind of the general uh, gist of why I'm excited about GLPI, but some specific things are um, because it's open source, you can run it wherever you want. You can run it yourself on your own system. You can run it in uh, TechLib's uh, cloud, and you can do all of this through me. You can contact me, and I'll help you set it all up. You could even have me host it or set it up in your hosted environment. Basically, again, there's a spectrum, there's freedom, there's flexibility, there's opportunity. However you want to run GLPI, we can allow you to run GLPI that way. In addition, it's highly customizable. I mentioned that quite a bit. Uh, And one of the things that I was really excited about, actually, this and some of the other tools that I was looking at, which I might talk about in some future videos, is that it does both service management and asset management. Now, I came to ITSM specifically through ITSM. Cherwell was primarily an ITSM product. They did have Cherwell Asset Management, but a small percentage of their customers actually used that product, which was a shame. It was a great product. But uh, lots of organizations specifically focused on the ITSM side. And that's because a lot of platforms specifically focus on the ITSM side. Asset management is kind of its own animal. And I feel like there's just so much complexity and so many questions around that realm that it kind of gets ignored. So one of the things I'm really excited about GLPI is that it is both an asset management and an ITSM platform in the same platform, and they both carry, I'd say, equal weight. The asset management capabilities are front and center. The service management capabilities are front and center. It's very obvious how to leverage both. And if you look at some of the community posts, you can see a lot of information about both sides of it. So I'm excited that it's both of them are very visible. And then finally, it's extremely affordable. There's nothing that says that open source has to be affordable. Now, you can look at some of the big names in open source, and there are huge enterprises, right? Red Hat, IBM, SUSE, they are all huge companies, made lots of money, and at their core, they have open source products. Um, And if you go looking for support and licensing, and even like Oracle, right? Oracle, not all of Oracle's stuff is open source, and people might argue that even their open source stuff isn't really open source. But in order to pay Oracle for something, it is a very steep price. GLPI, there are different options, and they are all very affordable. Going through me uh, enables you to kind of uh, have the best of all the worlds. They are very specifically GLPI. Teclib is very specifically the editor or the developer of the software, and has offerings related to that. They rely heavily on partners to provide the services and the support, but it's all very, very reasonable, very, very affordable. Um, in part because it's open source. So you're not paying through the nose for licensing. But at the same time, it opens up, again, it's all about flexibility. It opens up specific avenues. If you want to self-host, that's fine. If you want to provide your own tier one support, you can make that happen. There is information out there. There is documentation out there. There are a lot of great resources. But if you do want to leverage a partner, if you do want to lean on me or another partner potentially, or uh, TechLib and GLPI specifically, all of those resources are out there, and we can find the right uh, setup, format, package specifically for you that works for your organization. So with that, I'm really excited about this. If you couldn't tell, this is fantastic. I'm really excited to bring this to the market and bring this to our existing customers, our future customers, to the community. I think this is big for ITSM in general. I think there's a huge potential in this industry um, to further the community and further the community aspect. And that's one of the things that I've talked about on this channel since the very beginning, back a year and a half ago when I started posting videos regularly. I was talking about the community, the ITSM community. Um, it's really awesome to see a platform, a company like TechLib, GLPI and Teclib, um, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited that we get to be a part of it. I'm excited that we get to uh, augment our vision, add to our vision, and see it come to fruition. And that we can be a part of GLPI's vision, they can be a part of our vision, and that there's this overlap. So I'm excited. If you're as excited as me, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you came here to talk about GLPI, there will be more stuff about GLPI coming to the channel very, very soon. And if you have questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below or shoot me an email. My contact information is down in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.